Most people spend their lives running from silence. They chase the next thing, the next goal, the next distraction, the next validation, believing that somewhere, out there, lies the feeling of peace they've been missing. But the truth is, what we often search for endlessly outside ourselves has always been waiting quietly within. Life, in its gentle but unforgiving way, keeps trying to show us what truly matters, yet we rarely listen until it's too late. We wait until the noise fades, until the people we took for granted walk away, until the opportunities we ignored vanish, before realizing that all we ever needed was already here. And maybe that's one of life's hardest lessons. That meaning isn't something you find by adding more, but by learning to need less. The Stoics often reminded themselves that the present moment is all we ever own. Not yesterday, not tomorrow, only now. But how many of us truly live like that? We talk about wanting peace, yet we fill our days with chaos. We say we want to feel alive, yet we numb ourselves with comfort. We speak of wanting wisdom, yet we resist the very discomforts that teach it to us. Life is always teaching, but most of us are too busy to be students. And maybe that's the quiet tragedy of our time, that we're surrounded by information but starved of understanding. We know how to make a living, but not how to live. We collect experiences, but not depth. We chase pleasure, but forget purpose. And one day, when life finally slows us down, we realize how much of what we thought mattered never really did. You see, the Stoics believed that clarity comes when you face your mortality. When you remember that none of this lasts forever, it's not meant to scare you, but to awaken you. Because when you realize time is finite, you stop wasting it. You stop giving your energy to people who drain you, your thoughts to worries you can't control, and your days to things that don't feed your soul. You start to see that peace isn't found in having everything go your way, but in learning to stay centered even when it doesn't. And maybe that's what truly matters. Not the absence of struggle, but the presence of perspective. Because in the end, you don't control what happens to you, only how you respond. That's the heart of Stoicism, to meet life as it is, not as you wish it to be. The world will always test your patience, your ego, your strength. People will misunderstand you, plans will fail, seasons will change, and yet peace remains possible. Not when the storm stops, but when you stop fighting it. When you stop needing life to fit your expectations, you finally make room to experience it as it is. And maybe that's the moment you start to see how little you actually need to be at peace. The Stoics used to remind themselves daily that the things we cling to, wealth, beauty, reputation, comfort, are temporary. They don't define who we are. They only distract us from remembering it. Seneca once wrote, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." Think about that. How many of us are rich in things, but poor in spirit? How many of us keep running after more, without realizing that more has never been the answer? The truth is, life doesn't get better when you add to it. It gets lighter when you let go. You learn to let go of the need to prove yourself, to please everyone, to control outcomes that were never yours to control. You learn to let go of resentment, because carrying anger is like drinking poison and expecting others to hurt. You learn to let go of comparison, because peace cannot grow where envy lives. And slowly, almost quietly, you begin to find freedom, not in changing your circumstances, but in changing your relationship with them. The Stoics understood that the quality of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts. They knew that peace is not something you stumble upon by luck, but something you cultivate by discipline. And maybe that's what modern life has made us forget, that wisdom isn't found in doing more, but in seeing more clearly.